Right and wrong is a perception of the individual. Therefore, there is no right and wrong. Miri Shabaka, Ursa Ma'at-Ra. And knowledge is infinite. Therefore, evolution is inevitable.
Tribute, say something.
You want me to say something? Fine. I'll say something. You people. You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us. And I hope that happens very soon.
All right, family, welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patamatulu, Neferamon Ra. And today we got another powerful show with the one and only Warrior-Scholar Metuhotep Jallow. Brother, reintroduce yourself to the family.
Peace and blackness, everyone. My name is Metuhotep Jallow. I'm a Kemetic Pan-African Garveyite dedicated to the resurrection of the Black nation. Here at home, we're at home and abroad. I stand on the shoulders of those that came before me. I want to say Dwahu, thank you, or Asante Sana. Thank you very much to Brother Pianki Matulu for allowing me to get back on this platform and disseminate some real potent information and answer some questions for those that are out there.
That's peace, that's peace. Before we get into this build, I want to say Hotep to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say shalom to my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. I want to say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. And I want to say Jambo to my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora here in the wilderness of the United States of America and beyond. I say that welcome for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you are Black, I am with you, and I hope that you are with me. It don't matter what our ideologies are. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. And in light of the recent tragedies with our brother George Floyd and many others at the hands of white supremacists, this beast that we know has been our mortal enemy since the beginning of time, I say now more than ever, we need to put our ideologies to the side and unite as one Black people. And with that, we're gonna get into our build with the Warrior-Scholar Metuhotep Jallow.
All right, before I begin, I would like to read to us the oath to the ancestors that was given to us by the Republic of New Africa in the 1970s. This is the oath to the ancestors. O ancestors, blacker than the skies of Nut at midnight, pyramid builders and great ancient priests, warriors and mystic scientists, give us the inspiration to fight 1,000 lions, Give us the enlightenment to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Give us the substances to travel through the trackless swamps of disharmony. May the Ka, spirit of our African ancestors, fly on the wings of Ra for eternal life. O ancestors, praise be your African names. Amen Ra.
Sure.
So the bill that what we're going to be talking about currently, we're going to talk about RAHOWA, RAHOWA. That's an acronym for Racial Holy War. What kind of war we in? We are in a religious war. All the wars in the world are religious war, and this is no different. But it's like this current presidential administration is giving them these white supremacists, just white people. I really don't like to say white supremacists and separate them from white people. White people have been gave them the okay to just come out and just do whatever they want to black people. And we have to really understand what it is that's going on in order to prepare ourselves for an attack. We must be able to defend ourselves. And so with that, that's just going to segue to a thing. But whatever you like to say, Brother Bianchi, you can say before we go into it.
Well, I just want to say, as far as this current administration, they've clearly gone out of their way to placate, acquiesce, legitimize, and whatever other phrase or adjective you want to give in terms of empowering white supremacist ideology. And I think that is highly problematic. I think that is highly toxic, and it needs to be spoken on, it needs to be confronted, and it's no surprise, but it has to be dealt with. And we got just the person for the job in the Warrior-Scholar. So let's get to it.
Great. Okay, cool. So I want everybody to write down my email address. I can send me an email saying I would like that document, and I will send to you. Because what I'm going to talk about today is one thing I'm going to be talking about is what's known as the King Afro Plan, code name RX84. So I know a lot of people have never heard this before. This is an agenda put together by the political people of this country. Now, I'm not going to read all of it. I'm going to point out some of the organizations. It says, I'm going to read you what it says, part of what it says. All organizations and their leaders are under 24-hour surveillance. And they list 12 organizations that are under, their leadership is under constant 24-hour surveillance. Now, what the ones I'm getting ready to read to you that they already wrote down in this King Afro Plan, I'm not saying these are bad organizations. Many of them I support myself. But we have to understand something has happened. There is a compromise. Something happened somewhere. And I'm not saying that all of them are sellouts. I'm not saying none of them are sellouts. What I'm saying is that these organizations have been compromised and they're on the 24-hour surveillance. So we got to really be kind of leery of these organizations that I'm going to read out from you. The Black Muslims, SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the Congress of Racial Equality, the RAHOWA movement, the Group on Advanced Leadership, GOAL, the Freedom Now Party, the United Black Nations of America. You got the new Pan-African movement, the Southern Leadership Conference, the National League, the National Urban League, the National Association for the Achievement of Colored People, NAACP, and lastly, the Committee of Racial and Religious Programs. Now, in this King Alfred plan, this what they really talking about doing is getting people, galvanizing a lot of people, and then getting ready to do a neo-Nazi Germany move and burning people up. And we have to be very careful on our next move. So the name of it is called the King Alfred Plan, code name Rex 84. Do your research, but as I said, I will send you the document. It's very interesting and even not just the organizations that they're part of, they're infiltrating. They also have 10 regions of America where they've been watching. So let me read you what it says. It says, under King Alfred, the nation has been divided into 10 regions. In emergencies, minority members will be evacuated from the cities by federalized National Guard units, local and state police, and if necessary, units of regular armed forces, using public and military transportation to detain in nearby military installations until further notice of this action being decided. Now, these are the 10 regions: the Capital Region, Northeast Region, Southeast Region, Great Lakes region, South Central, Deep South. Now, you know these are black folk. Deep South Region 2, Great Plains, Rocky Mountain Region, Southwest Region, and West Coast Region. Now, if anybody know geography, you know these are places specifically where black people are. Not only black people, but just black people are there, and they centralizing a lot of this stuff. To do our research on that. Now, peace be upon our brother George Floyd, who was assassinated. But we have to let it be known all of these uprisings that's going around the country. It's not about police brutality. It's not about the killing of his brother. This is a systemic problem. This is a war against black people. So we don't want to relegate it to the killing of one person, because they're killing us every day. There's an open war against black people. For some odd reason, we have the mindset of I want you to tell me. You know, we want white people to tell us that they declare war on us. But as we talked about earlier, brother in the green room, what speaks louder than words?
Action.
They're showing you through their actions on a daily basis that they have declared war on us. Now, I have no religious attachments on me, but we have to put our religious differences to the side and just come to realize that these people, they're not. I'm gonna quote what Malcolm X said. They're not killing us because we're Muslim. They're not killing because you're Christian. They're not killing you because you're Baptist. They're not killing you because you're an atheist. They're killing you because you're a black man and woman here in the hills of North America. We've been at war with these people as early as 1555.
Metu, I have white friends. What are you trying to say?
They have been declaring war on you, whether they white friends, allies. White people have declared war on black people as a collective. It's not individualized white people.
My girlfriend is white.
What did that have to do with anything? Did that mean that you're not going to be subjugated and penalized and even killed? You think that's going to give you a waiver?
But I mean, I just think we should love all people.
No, that sounds good, but that don't work. See, white people are trying to stay white. They make up less than 10% of Earth's population is people who are classified as white. So if everybody love one another, come together as one, what would happen? White would disappear. So they had to create a system to combat that. They don't want to disappear. See, black people, we don't have no problem with that because we're going to be here regardless if they blow this whole planet up.
So you mean to tell me we can't all just get along?
No, we can't get along. They have not shown us that they're able to get along with us. There is, show me a history where we have gotten along with white people.
But what about the white people that sacrificed their life during slavery to help free slaves?
Where's your documentation? Where's your facts? Where's your information at? What white people?
John Brown.
He's not white people. He's a white person. I said, tell me the group of white people that has came up against the system of racism and white supremacy for black people.
The Quakers.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Well, show me your facts. Where's your facts on the Quakers coming together to help black people without them having a string attached to it? You have to become a Christian in order for them to help you. Is that really help? In order for me to help you, you have to accept my religion. Is that really help?
Well, how do you know they didn't just do it from the goodness of their heart?
Because the Quakers wrote about it, and the people at the time wrote about it. Do your research. Prove me wrong.
Well, what about the people that marched with Dr. King? Some of them were white.
Okay, they were agents as well. We don't have as a black man, we don't have the luxury to try to pick out of 1,000 snakes and try to find one or two of them that's going to be in our betterment. We don't have that luxury.
Well done, because you know I had to play the devil's advocate because these are the questions you're going to get. But go ahead.
I mean, but we don't have the luxury of saying this one is bad or this one's bad. First off, we can't trust each other. If it's hard for me to trust my own, I'm not going to reach my hand out to other people because everybody practice race first with African people.
Facts.
It's about them. You know, so when you see these so-called Hispanics and these other so-called minorities get subjugated like us, especially like the Chinese or the Vietnamese, and they get subjugated and mistreated like black people, my only statement to them is, welcome to the back of the bus. Because when it was us, you did nothing. Welcome to the back of the bus.
Facts. All right, that's it for me interrupting. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and continue. I just had to play devil's advocate because, like I said, them.
No, this is a serious issue because they're constantly shooting us down. We must arm ourselves. The thing is, there's nothing against the Constitution of not arming yourself. Now check this out. When if they understand that there's a consequence to what they do, I believe a lot of things will start to change. If they're gonna shoot you with a gun and they're gonna shoot you without a gun, why not arm yourself? They're gonna shoot you regardless. Because there is an ongoing war against African people. The European population is at a negative birth rate right now. They're disappearing off the face of this planet right now. They're just trying to stay here as long as they can. They have a sickness. White supremacy is a disease that they suffer from. But we have to understand that us as a people, we have to guard ourselves, protect our own babies, protect our women, protect our men. This is a family problem. It's not a sex problem. This is a Black African family issue. We can't blame it on a woman, can't blame it on a man. This is a systemic problem that we're facing here today. Protection, we have to protect yourself. Don't you agree?
Facts. 100%.
Go ahead.
Nah, I just said 100%.
Right. So whenever white people want to defend themselves, it's called self-defense. But when it comes to these people just know how to word it differently. If me and you was getting in a fight, they call that thug mentality. But when two white people fight, it's called a confrontation. They just change it up on you to make it. I'm the thug. What did uh someone recently said something about uh the police, the armed forces are there. If they start looting, start shooting, who said that? Did you hear that phrase before?
That's their president.
If they start looting, start shooting. What did that mean to you, brother?
That mean if they start looting, kill them. That's what it mean to me.
But
That's
actions speak louder than words. Let's just look at, as I said before, let's just look at this thing as a war. Don't look at it no individual shooting on individuals. No, this is a war declared on black people.
no, and let's look at it for what it is, legitimately. Like let's take the lenses off. This was a racist statement made by a racist mayor back in the '60s during the Detroit riots, if I'm not mistaken, that he repeated. And if it had a negative racist connotation then, it has a negative racist connotation now. Aside from that, now he's saying, if they loot, we will shoot, or whatever the phraseology was. But he didn't say that in Charlottesville when white supremacists were saying, Jews and niggas will not replace us, walking around with tiki torches and guns and knives on their waist. He said good people on both sides, right?
Right.
These armed militias who are white supremacists, let's be clear, stormed up into these government buildings and spat in the face of police officers. He said these were good people who need help. But when it's black people, if they loot, we will shoot. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the line been drawn.
Mm-hmm. So true. And then look at what their president said also. He said, these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd. I won't let that happen.
That's what he said.
These thugs. And you know what's interesting about that phrase? The thugs is all capitalized. These thugs. And the last part of it says, any difficulty, and we will assume control, but when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That sounds like a declaration of war, brother.
That's what it sounds like to me.
See, we want. See, even when they write it, we miss it. You want them to tell you, they tell you in writing, and you still miss it. They show you in your face by kidnapping your baby, raping your man, and torturing your woman. And we still don't get it. My question is, how long, brother? How long will we sit back and allow our babies to be tortured, kidnapped, and taken away from us? How long we allow our women to be beat, be raped, tortured? Same as the men. When are we just going to grow a pair, as they say, and do something about it?
My question is this. When are we just going to get the balls? Let's just call it what it is. When are we going to get the balls to say, let's just separate from these people?
Right. No, I mean, there is no separation. You have to fight. Because look, let's check out the Civil War. The Civil War was fought because another people want to separate. One group of white people want to separate themselves from other white people. They declare war on them.
See, I understand that because America is a corporation, and you ain't taking half of this corporation. Not when I'm in charge. I'm not going to be the CEO that let half of this corporation go, and not the profitable half. I understood that, and I understand that now. Here's my thing with us leaving these people. There's nothing here for us. There's no reason for us to stay
Right.
here.
Right.
So the people who want to stay here, leave them and let's go.
And I agree with I'm with it 1,000% because
Let's come up with
everything.
a comprehensive plan to just leave them behind and form our own. Like, they don't want us here, we thugs. They want us to go back to Africa. You know what? Let's do that. It don't have to be the motherland, but let's go somewhere close to it and find and get our own land, our own country. We can do exactly what Haiti did, and we can do it better because we have the benefit of hindsight. We know what they did wrong. We know what they did wrong in Sierra Leone. Like, we can do it much better now. We don't have to stay here.
That's true. See, a lot of us we just don't want to leave because we got so much vested in this Titanic ship. It's like, just leave. You know, I'm for it. I'm for repatriation, going back home, go where we are the majority at. Because we're a minority here in America. I would just leave but those that want to stay, just get ready for the war that's going to be on top of your head. A lot of us, all we want is a little picture. We just want a little peace, a little time to breathe. Everything in nature, because our ancestors studied nature. Everything in nature, in my observation, which is true also as well, migrates when things are getting bad. When there's going to be a drought, the elephants, they decide to leave. There ain't no drought yet, but they know it's coming, so they leave. Birds leave when the winter is coming. Lions leave. Alligators leave. Bees leave. Ants leave. We the only ones that say, I was born here, I'm going to die here. But I think the reason why our situation is a lot different is that nature has not been mind screwed like we have. We've been miseducated. We've been misdirected. If I was a woman in an abusive relationship, I have to leave that relationship. I'll leave him with the car, leave him with the money, just let me go. Why not just leave? When you got a whole entire continent ready to embrace you, why not go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated? Why keep wanting the devil to be something that it's impossible for him to do?
Because you got those of us who have been brainwashed to think that Africans despise us too, and some of them might, because they've been brainwashed too. The thing is, we can bridge that. I'd rather bridge the gap with them than with the Yorugu.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, those that always say that, because I've been there, why don't you take a trip there and see for yourself? We hearing it from a distance, not knowing that the people the information you're getting it from, is the same white people who told them on the continent negative stuff about us. We have to start to let a lot of the propaganda go, get rid of the fear and just leave, man. Because like our brother Akon said, he said something very phenomenal. He said, since black people going through so much hell and getting arrested, getting beat down and shot down here in America, why don't we just say fuck it and just go back to Africa? Let's just go. I know we aboriginal to this land, to the aboriginal community. I'm complete. We're aboriginal to the planet. But where we are, we have been reduced to the minority. And then we down to 13% of America's population. And less than 4% of that really want to do something.
Keep building, bro. I'm gonna step away for a second.
Okay. Less than 4% of the 13% want to do something about the rest, what's going on in the system of racism and white supremacy here in America. But for less than 14%, less than 4% to try to do something, we're going to make as much impact on this country as a mosquito on an elephant's ass. Let's just be realistic. Why not go where they're calling you, saying, come home. We apologize. They give you land, certain countries. They give you opportunities. Many of us have skills, and America is not even letting you work. They're not allowing us to survive, starve, the great Dr. John Henry Clark said something phenomenal. He said, "We petition this white man every day just to live to the end of the day, and every day there's another petition." Why would you want to continue to live in a system that is aimed at killing you? Each and every one of us is nothing but a gunshot away from being a hashtag. Why continue to go through this? When, like you said, Brother Bianchi, we can obviously leave. It don't cost that much as people think to leave, do a one-way trip, and just bring your whole family. We spend more than that on rent. Did you know if you book your trip from New York to Africa, it's a lot cheaper. You can literally go to Africa from New York for less than $500. Just take a trip. Just go there and see your people. Fall in love with yourself all over again. The wealth is there, the material is there, the people is there, the culture is there. Let's embrace that. You there, Priyanka?
I'm back. Yeah, the African Genesis Institute, they take people to the continent through crowdfunding. It don't even necessarily have to cost you anything. You just have to become a member of the African Genesis Institute. Like it's many ways to just go over there to visit and see with your own eyes what our brothers and sisters on the continent are doing.
Absolutely. Just go see for yourself. And this was interesting.
And understand real quick, we not getting nothing out of telling you to go over there. We just trying to get you to see that you got options where you ain't got to stay here and be under occupation.
Absolutely. The thing about it is people will ask for solutions, and you throw one, and when as it relates to leaving, that's called Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to come up with any excuse to stay. Like, oh man, maybe I should just save my food. Maybe I should stockpile on some water. No, why don't you just leave? Just go ahead and go and just experience something different.
And understand, it's only a matter of time before something like what happened to our brother George Floyd, what happened to Philando Castile, what happened to Mike Brown right here in our city, what happened to Trayvon Martin, what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. It's only a matter of time before that happens to somebody close to you or somebody who you know.
Yeah, because even the minister, Louis Farrakhan, said it this way: the things you see from afar will be knocking at your door.
And that's a fact.
We think that is over there. I remember someone else said a very good analysis. He said, just imagine we're in a pool. So you got your 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. So we're just relaxing with the kids. We in the 5 feet, we're just relaxing with the kids. And someone goes all the way down to the 12 feet end of the pool and they urinate in the water. You can't say, oh, that's just over there. It's in the water. And that's the same thing what's going on here. We think because it's happening in Minneapolis, they don't want to affect us here in St. Louis. It won't affect me here in Detroit. It won't affect me down south. Just like a lot of, even just like this, sundown towns. A lot of people learn about the sundown towns being in the South. But did you know that there was actually more sundown towns in Illinois than there was in the South? So you think you're going from better to worse. All you're doing is you going up south. And Brother Malcolm X said, as long as you south of Canada, you're in the South.
I remember.
But I take it a whole nother level. As long as you south of Antarctica.
Yeah, Dr. King said Chicago was more racist than any city he ever encountered in the South. Now think about that. He with Jim Crow South.
But as I said, let me correct myself. As long as you south of the North Pole, you're in the South.
Facts.
Sometimes a lot of times you experience a lot of racism in Canada. You think you going to a better place. That's just a British colony that they just got locked down. But I would just, because it's gonna become a time where you wish you had somewhere to go.
I'm gonna say this, man, and walk with me and let me know what you think. Because okay, some of our people ain't gonna want to leave. In terms of leaving this country, it's a lot of abandoned towns around the country, and it don't take much to get those started, where we can have our own city councils, our own policemen, our own everything in these abandoned towns. Now the question is, how long are they gonna let us have that? Is it gonna be a modern day Black Wall Street when they see us flourishing on our own? That's why I say we should just leave. But for those who don't want to leave, all of these abandoned towns around here, go claim one of them. And you can do that for 10 grand. But let's, on the most minute level, an abandoned town of our own, let's separate.
Right. That's true, and I agree with you, because in order for that child to grow, there has to be separation between the mom and the child. We have to just, if we don't separate, the devil is going to force us to separate. Start learning. You in the information age, you can learn anything on YouTube now. How to garden, how to sew, how to make your own diaper, how to make your own mask. We don't need these people from these other in China to give us any masks. A lot of these people out here suffocating because of the masks. But we have to let's just be realistic and just say, okay, if not Africa, somewhere else, because I still have a field Negro mentality. You go to the field Negro in the 1600s, you say, hey man, I got this thing called a map, man, and I know where we can go. They don't treat us as bad. First thing the field Negro gonna say is anywhere is better than this.
That's it.
I know this one. I don't care if it's another slave master. It ain't this one. This one rape me every day. So at least it's a step forward to getting better. Even though you can never get better racism, but the thing is, I know this one. Ain't no devil like the one we got. Then we got too many of us who are collaborators. Okay, now think about that. You have, we make up 13% of America's population. And out of the 13%, how many of that black population, of 13% of America's population, are sellout coons or people that just don't want no smoke? You probably have a big portion of that. Then you got less than 4% that really want to do something.
Right.
What kind of fight do you have? That's not a fight at all. You're gonna make, as I said when you was gone, you're gonna make as much impact on this country as a mosquito on an elephant's ass.
Wow. So let me ask you this then. Okay. So the reality is we not leaving, right? We not separating. It's a remote chance we may take over a free town. I mean, an abandoned town. But as long as we're in the wilderness of the United States, give me 3 real legitimate solutions to getting from under this beast in our current capacity that we can actually viably do, and we know our people can get behind or will get behind.
Separation, separation, separation. That's all you can do.
Remember, I just said, I know we know we ain't doing that. We know they ain't doing that.
I mean, that's until you do it. That's the only thing on the table for right now. It's like if you make your child some food and they don't want to eat, they'll eat eventually, because it's the only thing that you got to eat. Because getting along with them ain't working. That don't work. Getting along and trying to sing and swing your way out of it. You can't pray your way out of this. You can't fast your way out of it. You can't yoga, you can't meditate your thing. You have to separate or just get ready to fight head on. Are you ready to fight in an organized way? I doubt that.
No.
I don't even advocate us going up against these people. You don't make a knife, you don't make a spoon, you don't make a shoelace, you don't make a bullet. We don't make a drone. We are completely dependent on these people. Now, if you separate, you can feed for your own, defend your own, love your own, maintain yourself. Because the European empire is falling right now. I would advocate people to read this book. Let's just take religion out of it, because people always look at the messenger and not the message. Read The Fall of America by the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That is the most potent book right now for us to be reading. The Fall of America. The whole world is looking at America falling, and we just sitting here just lolly-dolly under this hypnosis. We under mass hypnosis. Shake out of that. Wake up and realize that the bullets, or the guns and the bullets that were aimed at all these other countries, is coming back to being aimed back at us. Because they still have what they call a Negro problem. We won't just lay down and die. That's what they want. And it's, even in these movies, one of my favorite movies is Independence Day. You ever seen that?
Of course.
Now, one of my favorite scenes in that movie was the president went to go talk to one of the aliens. So he got the guy's neck, tentacles around the guy. He's talking to him. Was that telepathy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the president said, "What do you want? You want peace?" The alien said, "Peace? No peace." He said, "What do you want? What you want us to do?" Die. And that's what they saying to us. They just want us to die. We're not going. That's just not going to happen. But we have to be realistic and realize that there is a war. There is not no police brutality, because racism dominates the 9 areas of human activity. Let's break those down. You have education, entertainment, economics, law, labor, politics, religion, sex, and war. So all of these things have to come into effect. Not just the law, not just your education, all of it. Because this is a systemic problem that's going on, that we're seeing is going to continue to happen as long as we are not willing to do what's necessary to eradicate this problem. Let's look at when you strike a match and you light something. You created a law for that fire to do one thing, to burn. That fire is not going to have any discrepancy. It's not going to be like, "Oh, this is a little child, I'm not going to burn it." It's a law made to just burn. So you cannot convince a fire not to burn, because it's going to do what it's supposed to do. These Europeans are the chief shedder of blood. That's all they kill for sport. Nothing in nature do no stuff like that. So they kill for sport. Now, in order for you to get that killer to stop, it's the same way not the same method, but the same mindset to put out that fire. You must put it out. You can't vote it away. You can't march it away. You must put it out. We got to put out this flame of racism, white supremacy, because it is choking, it is killing, and it's doing very self-destructive things to itself and to other people. What do you think, brother?
I agree with you, but the problem is our people ain't trying to hear that.
Well, then you can just die then.
Our people want to pray for the oppressor. Our
Okay.
people
Then you will die. As long as you pray to the enemy that looks like your God, as long as your God and your enemy looks the same, then you're going to continue to get what's going on.
Hmm.
God, this thing this concept, this construct called God, has no hands and feet but yours. I'm gonna say it again. God has no hands and feet but yours.
Yeah, because I always wonder, like, you know, they talk about God sitting on the throne and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, all right, you know, who was that I heard? Was it polite to say, all right, if he's sitting on the throne, that means he got an ass, and if he got an ass, do we take a shit? And if he take a shit, that means he got the ability to be full of shit just like us. And so, what's my point in saying that? If they God can be full of shit, so can they, because they made in what?
Right.
So, you know, I'm saying that in jest, but I'm also saying it to be serious, because when we talk about the way that this society move, when we talk about the hypocrisy of this society, of this country, like this country was literally founded on hypocrisy. Like we literally got a man who raping and molesting his teenage, I don't even know if she was teenage yet, slave, owning slaves while he writing the words of the so-called Declaration of Independence.
I mean, even look at the concept of their Lady Justice. The scale is already weighed against you before she even judge you, and then she's blind. Blind justice is not justice. You have a blind woman with a scale that's already tipped against you already. So you're not innocent to proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent.
Facts. Facts. And so again, like it's one hypocrisy after another when we dealing with this nation. Like it's an excerpt at the end of Tupac's song, White Man's World. I think it's Minister Farrakhan. It says Native Americans, blacks, and all other non-white people were to be the burden bearers for the real citizens of this nation. That's what America was founded on. For white people, by white people.
Right.
We were never in consideration when it came to the founding of this country.
Because you were property.
Exactly. And so we are not in consideration now.
Right. You were property then, whatever status you were then, you are that. We just don't want to accept that. Well, that's what it is. We're not citizens with rights. We're residents with privileges.
Thanks. And like we are behind enemy lines. We are prisoners of war. We are under occupation. This is not a game. And we see it all the time. Like this shit happens every day. It's just these incidents that get publicized are just few and far in between, but this shit happens every day.
Right. Yeah, who controls your media? Who controls the information that you see? We already see that YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter are taking things down. But I thought you had a right to free speech.
And
They
see,
taking Mr. Farrakhan out off of social media because of what he said.
I'm gonna get real deep on you. Like I'm gonna go back to the late 1500s, and I'm gonna talk about something that very few people ever talk about, and that's the fact that racial lines are really imaginary. This is really an imaginary line that somebody drew as it pertains to this country. Because everybody in this country, before it was a so-called country, when we talk about they was just colonies, they was designated by their ethnicity and their nationality. So you had Africans, Irish, Dutch, English, etc. Right? So now you got indentured servants. You had an event called Bacon's Rebellion. Native Americans, or so-called Native Americans, because I would think that they are the only Americans. But anyway, they kept attacking this particular former named I believe it was Francis Bacon. Going to the higher ups, the so-called well-to-dos, like, hey, this is in the state, the eventual state of Virginia. Right now, it's a colony. Like, hey, y'all got to do something about the Indians. You know, they keep attacking. They couldn't be bothered with it. So he forms a coalition of indentured servants, African, Dutch, English, Irish, etc. They rise up to fight these natives together. The well-to-do, the rich folks is looking at this like, did you see this shit? And of course, I'm paraphrasing all this, but if you want the true story, get the book by the scholar Neil Irvin Painter, The History of White People. This is
that's phenomenal.
Now, they like, did you see how they all united and dealt with the Indians? What if they decided to do that with us? We have to get together and strategize to figure something out in case they decide to come for us. So, you know, a couple of years go by.
And stop you, but what's interesting is our open enemy, cultural and historical enemy, is clearly identifiable. You can identify them. You with me?
I'm with you. So now I understand this though. So these servants, 3 servants run away. One African, one English, and one Irish. They are all indentured servants to the same person.
Yeah, right.
Man, I'm not all right.
Yeah, I see you.
When they get caught, the Irish one gets 7 more years of servitude to the person he ran away from. He gets 7 more years to the colony of Virginia. The Englishman, 7 more years indentured servitude to the colony of Virginia and to the person who he ran away from. The African who ran away gets lifetime servitude. All of a sudden, the Irishmen are charged with overseeing this lifetime servant who is African. And the tide of how things would be ran in this country were forever changed. Now, this is a fact. And so, like, this construct was literally bro, you muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just we just have to just be, just put it, as us, always say, just put aside our differences, man, because there's more that unites us than divide us. If you don't want to repatriate, just get prepared. Save your food, go solar, get off the grid, go solar. A lot of people are doing that. So, just be more strategic, more aware of what's going on. As I said, I will give you my receipt, the King Alfred plan. I'll email it to anybody that want to read it. So you can really just sit down with your family and congregate on the solution on what we need to do, especially if you don't want to leave.
Yeah, I think this is where brothers like yourself, brothers like our master teacher, Maurice Neferu, and different individuals who have a keen ability to educate people are really gonna come into play, because the masses of our people need education on why it's important to get our own thing. Again, whether it's an abandoned town or whether we just go to Africa and start building our own and get our own country. I don't care if it's an island.
Yeah, because this Eurasian, this European is not gonna let go. I remember listening to the radio. It was an interesting conversation between two Europeans. So European A said to European B, "Do you think that we'll ever give this land back to the original people, the Native American?" And European B said, "We'll make the Atlantic touch the Pacific before we let that happen."
Facts.
We're dealing with a people who have a me concept. African people, Aboriginal people, we start off as a we. They have made us adapt their ways, their VIPs, their values, interests, and principles. But in order to defeat the alien culture, you must live out your own.
And
Always me with them. We're sharing people. We come from a share culture. We have no problem with that, but understanding who you with, who you're dealing with, who you are, will make you put you in a better circumstance.
yeah, like I always say this, true power is the ability of one person or people to superimpose their belief, culture, and customs onto another person or people, and then make that person or people believe that these were their beliefs, culture, and customs all along.
I agree with you 1,000%.
Moreover, that their own beliefs, culture, and customs were somehow evil or inferior to those that were superimposed upon them. And that's exactly what this Yoruba has done to us.
Absolutely.
We not only have to confront our people with educating them in the present day, we have to recondition their mind to embrace their culture and let them know that your culture is not evil. Your culture is not bad. Like it's
right. The culture that you're going to embrace is evil and bad.
Yeah, it's so much work that got to be done that
you got to get institution.
Yeah,
you got to get an institution.
But let me let you go in on this before we get out of here. Let me let you continue break down this racial holy war that's been initiated against us. If you can condense it to 5 to 8 minutes, can break that down, because I know I interrupted you with playing devil's advocate, and then we start talking about some other things. But I want you to get back to that and break that down as concisely as you can, so that the people are aware of what we are absolutely positively up against when it comes to the fact that war has been declared on us, and we in the midst of it and we don't even know it.
Right. So there was a politician by the name of Ben Classic that started this whole racial holy war construct. Now, the whole system of it already existed. He just put a different name on it, like the alt-right. It ain't nothing new. It's just a different name on it. So Ben Classic started it. And then it's a religious organization. He founded the Church of the Creator. It's called the Church of the Creator. Right? And he also it's also a book that came out called The White Man's Bible. Everything that I'm saying, I want you all to do your due diligence on it, do your research and read it, and come back and tell me more than what I'm telling you now. I'm just giving you a small version of it. These people have declared war. We've been at war with these people before 1555. We've been at war with these people since the 1400s, when they defeated the Moors in late 1400, 1490 something. So since this war has been declared on us, we must decide to defend ourselves at all costs. Defend our women, defend our men, protect us as a single group. And as you said before, when all these immigrant groups came into them, see, we are the only people that has been told to embrace other cultures, Other cultures that come into this country, we want you to stay Italian. We want you to stay Polish. We want you to stay Amish. We appreciate that. You'll stay Vietnamese. You stay Persian. But we have to be script completely of who we are to amalgamate ourselves with a group of people who would never accept you for who you are.
Yeah, like you just spoke on something that's heavy, and let me tell you, you just said Italian people are encouraged to stay Italian. So when they call Vito and Alfredo and all these other names, no one bats an eye because they are Italian.
Right.
Right? Spanish people are encouraged to stay Spanish and continue to embrace their culture. Chinese people, Korean people, you name it, they come over here, they are who they are. But
and they're encouraged to stay who they are.
They encouraged to stay who they are. But us, like we the only lame, suffering, succotash brain people who make fun. I mentioned the African brother name earlier and got ridiculed for it because we have no clue who the fuck we are.
That's a fact.
Like we making fun of an African name, but we happy to be calling ourselves Michael or Richard and all this other bullshit.
Yeah, and what's interesting about it is when you talk to a Chinese man, he'll tell you his name. My name is Wuhan, whatever. And you're like, okay, you know. Just imagine, I remember Muhammad Ali said something like this, and I'm paraphrasing it. He said, if you meet a Chinese man and you're like, what is your name? Hey, my name is Philip. You'll feel some type of way about that.
Absolutely.
Philip is not Chinese.
Absolutely.
All these other groups, you know, they tell you their name. You can identify where they from. But when it comes to us, we everything else but an African. Oh, nah, I ain't claim Africa. I'm not going to claim Africa. Africa is not a country. Africa is a country.
You know,
it's a continent. See, I don't see, as a Pan-African, we're looking at a borderless Africa because to respect those borders means that you agree with the Berlin Conference.
Exactly. You know how much ridicule I got when I first started using my sacred name? Like, it's hard. Like, you have to decipher who you gonna give benefit of the doubt based on their ignorance,
right?
And who you gonna have to check based on their outright disrespect. Because at the end of the day, I'm embracing who the fuck I really am while you holding on to some bullshit your oppressor gave you.
Right, absolutely.
But you making fun of me.
Because he don't know who he is. So when you don't know who you are, you can look at yourself and laugh at it. Yeah. Just like our brother Dr. Clark said, they would desecrate our sacred monuments and then make us laugh at his desecration. As though you had no connection with it in the first place. Like, oh, look at that. You know, they just making stuff in the nose and the lips are cut off. To make you not connected to it. Even some of the racist writing they have in the museum, especially the Cairo Museum, it says, this particular person is Negroid, but not necessarily a Negro. How you Negroid,
but not Negro?
Not necessarily a Negro. It's like he's Caucasoid, but not necessarily a Caucasian.
Huh. It's like I see these Christian brothers, and they so desperate to legitimize Christianity that they want to challenge the information of a Tony Browder. Now, who are you to challenge Tony Browder? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, come on, man. Or they want to call us Afrocentric instead of African-centered. You know, you got all of these phrases, like, as if it's something wrong with being either. But
Right.
my point is, they want to try to downplay Africa or ostracize Africa as if it's something to be shunned.
Yeah, because we were told to lift everybody else up but ourselves.
Yeah.
That's part of the programming.
Like, we are so ensconced in Eurasian Western culture that we actually shun.
Yeah. People do that now, even when it comes to Africa. Certain countries of Africa, they say, oh, that place is terrible. I'm like, compared to what? What are you comparing it to say it's terrible? You want to compare it to America? Everywhere there's a song. It's called Ghetto by Erykah Badu, N.D.I.R.E. There's a ghetto everywhere.
Facts.
But you want to compare Africa based off of European perspective? I remember Mos Def said something interesting. He said he went to what do you say he went to the British Museum to see all this stuff in the British Museum. He said, it was beautiful. They said, how did it feel? He said, it felt like going into a pirate's mansion. Everybody shit up in there. And if you were to take all the African artifacts out of these museums, you wouldn't even have a museum.
Facts.
Just take the African stuff out.
Facts.
But they're going to tell you they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
Ain't that ridiculous? Show you and say it ain't you. Just like they did with Rodney King. They show you a beat down and say what you saw and what you saw. I didn't see a man get his ass whooped. Now, that ain't what you saw ain't what it is.
Yeah, you don't believe your lying eyes.
Right. See, they always play this Jedi mind trick on us, and we have to be able to know the truth and then disseminate it according to us. I'm not worried about the white media and what they're going to say. They're going to keep pumping you propaganda.
So before I have you close out, bro, I'm thinking about doing a panel with 3 Christian brothers and 3 Kemetic brothers. It may just be you, me, and our brother Nasu talking about this very thing we talking about with more emphasis on what's happening in Minneapolis. Be prepared, because some of the talking point, what some of the talking points gonna be. But would you be willing to have that dialogue?
I'm willing to have that dialogue.
And then I'm still working on putting something together for you and the Conscious Christian to have y'all sit down. So he talking about doing a response, but I think it's gonna be on Trust and Believe channel. So that's that.
That is what it is. So I want to talk to person to person. Just make it personal. Don't talk about what I said outside of me. Just go ahead and address it so I can iron out your wrinkles. Dr. Milana Karanka said, rescue me if I'm wrong. How can I rescue you if you're wrong and I'm not in the building? And so I'm willing to have that discourse with you, brother. So you have me at your disposal.
All right, that'll work. So yeah, I'm gonna let you close out.
Okay, I want to say, Duahu, thank you very much to everyone that listened, took your pen out, wrote some stuff down, learned some information. That's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to get us to thinking, get us to start understanding that what we've been taught is not as accurate as we think it is. If they're not going to treat you right, they're not going to teach you right. So let's just start to embrace who we are as an African people. Don't let no one make you feel ashamed of being an African. Love who you are. Love the skin you're in. And then you can be able to do for those that look like you and move forward and galvanize in an organized way to do something about the problems that we face here in this planet. Thank you.
Thanks. Real quick, bro. Tout your business and let the people know how to get in contact with you. You gave your email at the beginning. Give it again.
My email address, you all can email me at Brother Uhuru, BROTHER T-H-A-U-H-U-R-U. Uhuru means freedom in Kiswahili. Brother Uhuru, you can, at gmail.com. You can also send me a message directly on Facebook at Metu Jallow, Metujallow, or my full name, Metuhotep Jallow, Methu, Meth, Metuhotep, Jallow, Jallow. And I would love to be able to talk to anyone, just come on the platform. If you have anything to say about what I said, let's chop it up in person. Let's just rebuild each other.
Not only
work on each other.
Not only is this brother a powerful warrior scholar with tons of information, he done forgot more information about Africa than most people gonna learn, and he only 33 years old. But not only does he have that going for him, he also probably the most talented graphic designer you ever gonna come across. And when you reach out to him, if you need anything for your graphic design needs, let them know.
Yeah, I do flyers, banners, T-shirts, logos, whatever you want animated. I can animate you, family members, obituaries. I do it all at a reasonable price. I'm not trying to bust anyone's head. I just want to give us quality work.
Yeah, and
that's affordable.
If you want an example, look no further than the intro and outro to this very video. The brother is the baddest in the business. So I just want to say, thank you to our brother, the Warrior Scholar, for coming on and gracing the platform once again with his wisdom and his knowledge, teaching the people, disseminating the information. I want to say thank you for the people tuning in. We up to 105 subscribers, so we've grown exponentially in the past month or so. So we trying to keep that movement going, and our brother here is a big part of the reason why. We got some things coming up with Trust and Believe the Gospel over at that channel. We got Brother Shabaka coming back. We got some things coming with T. Nasu. Like I said, we're gonna try to get a panel together to discuss some viable solutions and answers as to why our people keep having to endure what we have to keep enduring in this occupation we under, and see if we can convince our Christian brothers to understand that we are legitimately at war. But other than that, that's what's happening on Paradigm Shift TV. I hope y'all tuned in to my Just Let It Go video. A shot at my dear friend Scott Spencer. He indeed had it coming. I felt like we all needed a good laugh, and so I brought that to the people. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Kemetic class number 100 is next week. Tune in for that. And other than that, that's Hotel. We out of here.
Hotel fam.
Hotel. We'll see you on the battlefield, King.